we have made it to Chiatura, cable car city.
I am so excited.
Wow, I didn't expect to see that on the side of there.
This is the stairway to heaven. Good morning, guys, from the lovely Katskhi here in Georgia. I am so excited for today because we are heading 2 hours outside of Katskhi to a town or city called Chiatura. Now, when we mentioned to the hotel that we were heading to Chiatura, they were like, why are you going there? And the reason is because I feel like Chiatura gets left behind, and we want to explore the real Georgia and see what it really is like. I'm hoping, or I'm pretty sure there's going to be no tourists, and Chiatura used to be a mining town. It was so known for its mining of iron. I believe it was founded back in the late 1800s, so it's fairly new. But unfortunately, when the Soviet Union collapsed, so did the mining town, and obviously there were no jobs for anyone, and it was just really, really sad. Now, there's still not too much going on. There's not a huge industry there. I need to get dressed, and then we can head out and check out Chiatura.
See, we don't discriminate against any town or city here. Any town, any city, any country, we are interested in visiting it and finding some hidden gems, find the local life, find out more about the people of each city. From Katskhi to Chiatura, you can get like 6 buses, but we don't have really the time anymore. The nights are drawing in earlier now. Highly recommend reading the blog Wanderlush. It basically is an expert on everything Georgia. She's amazing. She's helped us so much with all the information of things to do. So on there it says to go with Go Trip, where you request a trip and a driver will take you to the location in a couple of different spots. So that is what we're going with. We found Go Trip, and we think we're meeting our driver just outside our hotel now.
We have met our driver and we are on our journey. I really like the idea, sorry, the road is really bumpy, but I like the idea of Go Trip purely because you can stop as many times as you want and the price is fixed. Now this is going to sound like it's sponsored, but it isn't. I hate the fact that you can't just promote something. Oh my god, is it really that bumpy? I hate the fact you can't just promote something that's local and a really good initiative. Right? You're using local drivers from the area, and I think it's nice. It's a nice way to do it. But we have about, I said it was 2 hours. That's only if you get the marsh request.
We're not risking our life either because they will have reviews, which is nice.
The marsh requests are dangerous, and I got to pick a driver with the best review.
And after around a 2-hour drive, we have made it to Chiatura, once a prosperous city during the Soviet Union. It's been somewhat left to its own devices, I suppose, since the collapse in '91, and then obviously the mining industry going with it. I think there's only a couple of the mining factories, whatever you want to call it, still around today, and it really is sort of like a blast from the past, this city. We're going to walk around. We've got a couple of hours to explore, but we are mainly here because this city is known as the cable car city. It is full of old Soviet cable cars, which unfortunately literally closed this year, and they've built some brand new ones. But we're going to walk around, check out some of the old Soviet cable cars, some of the old Soviet architecture, and then of course check out the new cable cars.
It doesn't look how I was expecting. I mean, you've got this nice building here which kind of looks like similar architecture, like Nouveau, and then you've got some very typical Soviet architecture. It looks like they're doing a lot of reconstructions. It looks like they're building some sort of river walk here.
I love how local it feels like.
But it does feel local, and there's larders everywhere.
Obviously back during the Soviet Union, the population here would have been a lot higher. People would have come from all across the former states to work in the mines, and obviously today the population is getting less and less. The young people have started to leave Chiatura to go to Tbilisi, to go to Katskhi, to go to Batumi for work. Oh, I think we might have spotted our first abandoned cable car station. Unfortunately, it is abandoned now. This wasn't abandoned less than a year ago. See the old station here. Unfortunately, it is blocked off now, and right up there is one of the old cable cars. Why? Would it be completely blocked off for us today? It would be.
It's just typical, isn't it?
Wow, I didn't expect to see that on the side of there.
A Lenin and Stalin
mosaic.
Is that a mosaic? That's actually, I think, one that nobody has been able to find because it's not coloured, it's kind of hidden, and obviously this building's now under reconstruction. Do you think they're going to get rid of it?
I don't know. I feel like they will keep that. Like, Stalin is thought of in a semi-positive light, being that he's Georgian.
That is so cool.
So the cable car stations are actually heritage monuments, which means I think they're protected. I don't know if it means they're gonna... Hello. No idea what he's saying. The Chiaturans are, yeah, they're an interesting bunch. But yeah, they're gonna get redone. It's a shame they get modernised, but the fact that they're keeping them is really good. They're actually built in the 50s, and up until recently they were free for locals, just to go up and down the hill to their houses.
And we have just stumbled across this architectural gem, I'm going to call it. Can you believe this was once a cable car station?
Can you believe that this was in use this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I would be too comfortable going on that one, but each to their own, and actually over the top of our heads are the old wires and the new wires. So
we think we might be able to get in. I'm going to have to give you this. We're sneaking. Under here?
Go!
Oh my god, I'm going to take my bag off. And this leads through, so... And then we go around.
Go down, go!
Oh my god, very tall. I made it! So this kind lady has shown us that we can actually access this building. Oh my god, it is really abandoned. I don't feel like this one was in use this year.
How far up do we go?
I don't know, I mean, it's seen better days. We've made it. I don't really think we should be doing this. We're literally in the city centre and it is padlock closed. But, you can't see any. This is where it once would have stood. The old cable cars. Wow. Thank you.
Look at this. There's a big sign here that says when it was open.
Really?
Yeah, 8 AM until midnight.
Whoa. This is so cool. Thank you so much.
It totally does not fit to have this huge modern building with all of the abandoned Soviet buildings, but I am here for it.
They're trying to restore the city.
You can see they're doing a lot of works to it, but we just need to now work out where on earth we get the new cable car to and from. Let's go on the new cable car.
This is so random. It really doesn't fit. But we are in the brand new state-of-the-art cable cars. The locals, you can just see the locals coming up and down, going to their house. This is basically a form of transport now in Chiatura. So I presume, like anything, transport needs updating, and that is what they've done. And we're going up to the sanatorium. Is it sanatorium? Which I think is the longest and has the best views of the city. But I still haven't found an old cable car. I'm a little bit disappointed. We are off. This is very random, extremely random. Can you imagine that a small city like this uses these as transport? This isn't for tourists like it probably is in Tbilisi. They've just upgraded their old ones. There's actually 4 new lines. There were 17 old lines, but only 2 are still standing. Obviously, you can't go on them anymore.
Now this is cool. No old rusty cable cars as of yet. However, we have found the former Pioneer Palace that was used up until 2007. Look at all these pillars. It's now just left to ruin. There's supposedly plans to restore it, as there is with everything. But it's just so random. It's just been left here and it's not in use. But we do really need to find a small rusty cable car.
That is the most random of buildings. Look at it. It's a complete palace on top of the hill. If you're only going to get one of the 4, because all four will probably take a lot of the day. I'd say get this one. You get the best views overlooking the city of Chiatura, and you get a really cool abandoned, I don't even know if it's Soviet, but you get an abandoned palace.
Back down we go.
So we just visited the municipality building, and we roughly Google translated that literally in like the last month or so, the last remaining Soviet cable cars that were just hanging on these wires have been removed. The only one left is the one that we saw earlier that is right up in the mountain, which you can't get to because there isn't a new line built there yet. So they're all gone. I don't know where they're stored, but luckily we are very lucky that we actually went to Katskhi and got to ride on the Soviet cable cars there that were built in the same sort of era. So we haven't missed out too much. I knew we couldn't ride on one here. I just wanted to see one. I mean, I saw one from a distance.
We were just about to leave and meet our driver, but we think we've spotted, oh my god, Matt, are you sure? I
don't think it's electric. You can just don't touch the metal. You good?
We made it. Run! So we think we've spotted one. We just had to cross the train tracks, and then I think, keep your fingers crossed for us that there's one round here.
So, the last cable car station, I didn't even know this one still existed. It was actually in a bar. I feel like we're gonna have to get a beer after this to celebrate, because right there is the cable car station, and hanging from that cable car station is, hello, is a cable car.
This is the stairway to heaven.
And there it is in all of its Soviet glory. I can't believe we have ran around the city today on the hunt to find one of these old Soviet cable cars. Imagine coming here a year ago. You got to ride on this, and hold on one second. Watch this.
That's not the cleverest of ideas.
The whole cable car station is shaking.
Icy.
Can we get one icy or two icy?
Are they big or small?
Big or small? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
What a find this was from Matt. Two lovely icy beers right by. You can't actually see it.
It's actually in the same garden.
It's in the same garden of the old cable car station.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To finding a cable car.
Galma Joss to the Chiaturan Soviet cable cars. I love it.
We were so lucky basically to see the last remaining cable car here in Chiatura. Obviously it's changing, they're building the new ones, there's the 4 new lines. I presume there's plans to build even more, but if you do want to come, I don't know the name of the bar, but the bar's there. The last station with one remaining car is there behind us. But I don't know, what do you think of Chiatura? I suppose life here is tough after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The mining sort of collapsed as well. I know there's 1 or 2 mines left, but a lot of the industry left the area. The cable cars remained, which was crazy up until this year, but hopefully the new ones being built is a sign that money is being put back into the city and there'll be more of a future for the next generation.
After a 20-minute drive, we have made it to the Katskhi column, or the Katskhi pillar, which is actually unbelievable. Have never seen anything like it. It is a 45-meter limestone rock that is just freestanding, basically, with a church and monastery up the very top. It's said to have been abandoned for 500 years, and only in the 1900s did somebody find it, and they have, with the help of the community, rebuilt up the top. I don't believe there's anyone living up the top of it, but there is this huge ladder here that you can take up the top. Obviously we can't, but monks and anybody that needs the monks' help actually can. But oh my god, wow, this is unreal. A limestone rock that is freestanding.
This is one of the most random things I have ever seen. Like, supposedly it takes 20 minutes to go up. You can do the first.
Go on, how many are you gonna do?
I can't. 3 or 4, and then it is padlocked. I think there's a cave that we might be able to go in, and you can see here, I just realised this. So you see this is actually, you can see they use it to send stuff up to the monk or whoever's up there at each period of time. So they'll twist it.
There's no one living up there, but I believe there is.
Bag, so you can put food and stuff in it for him.
Yeah, I believe there is someone up there that they send stuff to. That is really cool. I didn't see that.
Look at this thing. It sort of reminds me of a place that we went to in Serbia called Bajna Basta, and they had House on the Drina. So they had a house that was built on top of a rock in the middle of the river, but never to the heights of that. That is definitely impressive. You wouldn't want to live there if you were scared of heights. It's a shame that it has been closed to the public for I don't know how long, years I presume, and it is actually pretty hard to get any photos of it, any shots of it from a close because of how high it is. So you're better off walking down to the car park and then you can see it from there.
This is definitely the best view because once you get up there it kind of just is like a rock. From down here at the car park you can see the church, the monastery on the top, you can see the jaggedy rocks, and you can see, I think they've even like, can you see the string? Or not the string, but the wire like holding
That's where he gets his
that's
where he gets his holy wine delivered. And we are back and we have eaten. We have eaten a lot. The food here at Newport Hotel is so good. Dinner time. Oh, and more food. Honestly, in Georgia, the prices of food seems ridiculous. It actually seems cheaper than Armenia. I feel like every restaurant, it's like £3 or £4 for a nice main dish, and then it's like £1 everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's a nice restaurant, a really fancy restaurant, or an average restaurant for a beer, and £1 for a beer. That is the most important. But we got back, it was worth it, definitely, to go with Go Trip. They waited for us in Chiatura and then obviously at the Pillar on the way back, and it was like a 2-hour drive each way, which come to, I think, was it £25?
Yeah, really
about £25, which is really good. And have you ever seen two people so excited to find an old, rusty, abandoned cable car? But it made the trip, honestly. Finding that cable car at the end made the trip, and it was nice to see sort of local life in Chiatura. It's definitely a lot different to Tbilisi and Kutaisi. It's real, it's raw. Hopefully it's improving for people now, because obviously a lot of people have left. And hopefully the new cable cars bring in more tourism. I just hope they keep some of the old cable cars as well. But our time in Kutaisi and this region has come to an end. We're actually heading to the Black Sea coast tomorrow. Fingers crossed the sun is out so I can get in my bikini, but we are up really early. We've got the bus at like 6 AM, so I need to get a night's sleep, and we'll see you in the morning at 6 AM.